Stinished It is recorded on the unceded lands of the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung people. We pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging, and to any First Nations people listening.
We acknowledge the long history of storytelling undertaken on this land.
Welcome back to Stinished It, the podcast where we chat about the things we've started, finished, and what we're looking forward to. My name's Reuben.
And what?
And my surname is MacDougall-Demano. And with me, as always, is Jett.
Are you doing weird inflections on the intro because I complained about it last time?
Maybe.
Yeah, I thought so.
Who's to say?
Yeah, I'm the co-host, Jett. I'm also...
I wouldn't possibly
I have
know.
a different last name.
Do
I'm
you?
going to tell you what
Different
it
to
is.
mine?
Yeah.
Or different every day?
Until we get married.
Oh, yeah.
That day, I'm changing my last name. I'll change mine to yours.
Really? You don't have to do that.
No, but
I wouldn't ask that of you.
You have a fun last name. It's
I
ridiculously long.
really do. Actually, can I please change mine?
No.
Oh, no.
The thing that I love about your last name
Okay.
is that it is McDougall-Demano, which is 2 words, even though it sounds like 3.
It's 3 words.
Well, one of them's in 1 word. There's no spaces.
There's spaces.
It's McDougall.
Yes.
Oh, is Demano 2 words?
Yeah, you don't... Yes.
Do I always write it like... Doesn't matter. Anyways.
You write it as DiCaprio or 1 word.
Yeah, I always write... Well, okay, I famously forgot your last name one time and wrote it down as Reuben Doodle DiCaprio. So that is what you stay as in my phone contacts. But the thing that I love about your last name is that it shortens down to MD.
Ah, yes. I feel like we've talked about this before.
I don't think we've talked about it on the podcast.
Okay.
Though. So when you comment on things online, it shows as Reuben MD, which MD is also short for medical doctor.
I don't know, medical doctor probably.
So
Medicus Doctorus, I think you'll find.
I think it's that. So every time that you told me there was this one time where you commented on a YouTube video.
Yep.
I don't know if you're pro whatever it was. Or
I don't
anti.
remember either, but someone disagreed with me.
Someone was anti you and was like, "I'd like to know where you got your doctorate from." So good. So good. You're just like...
Just an unsolicited attack on my surname.
I think you could take advantage of this more.
Go on.
Just start like actively playing into it. Start like giving people medical advice.
Okay. Oh, yeah?
But you're not a doctor.
Good medical advice or bad medical advice? Or TikTok medical advice? A secret third category.
Medical advice that anyone would give anyone else.
Oh, like you should take some painkillers for that.
Yeah. And
I would know. I have an MD after my name.
No, you don't say that, but what you do
well,
is
how do I...
You
oh,
when
you
you're sending
like
text messages or
sign them off
emails
Reuben MD.
or letters, sign them off Reuben MD.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would go well. I think that would work very well.
I think that as long as I don't give my full surname, if something goes terribly wrong, they can't trace it back to me.
Exactly.
So no consequences.
So don't mention your surname on any public platform.
Oh, okay.
Whatsoever.
I'll make sure I never say, hey, my name's Reuben and my surname is MacDougall-Demano on any kind of something that gets broadcast anywhere.
If you could give me medical advice.
Now?
What would it be? Yeah.
With
your knowledge of
well, you've
my
had
health,
something weird going on with your abdomen generally, right?
Yes.
In
multiple aspects.
Yeah. Do you want to describe? Like, I gotta give you a good prognosis. You got pain?
I got pain.
Stop having that.
Okay.
It's my professional medical advice. How?
Yeah.
Well, the issue is...
Should I drink kombucha? That's meant to be good for your gut.
I think you should drink something. Have you got anything with you?
Are you asking if I've got a drink this week?
I'm asking, hey, you got a drink this week?
Yeah, of course I got a drink this week. This week I have Fever Tree Distiller's Cola. Now I have 2 interesting stories about this. Which one would you like? A or B? Wait, let me figure out which one's which. Yeah, that way.
I'm going to double bluff and say A.
Oh, dang it, you got me. We're doing chronological order. Okay, so A is when I worked at the European Beer Cafe earlier this year, somebody that I was working with one of the nights is a promoter for this company, Fever Tree.
Like an influencer?
No, like their job is to go to bars and places that serve drinks and bring them Fever Tree stuff and saying, hey,
you got a drink like this?
You should do this. Or, hey, you already got a drink like this? Ours is better. Try this for free, and then people will like it and then keep it. So, Yeah, she was pretty cool. She was really
That's
nice.
fun.
She kept offering me free drinks.
And did you try one of these previously? You had one
not,
of these before?
Not this. I haven't tried the Distiller's Collar. Now, the thing about this Distiller's Collar is we actually found it the other night while walking into our apartment building. Someone had hard rubbish out the front, an assortment of things all ranging from a mattress to like a glass mug.
Yep.
And amongst them, probably the weirdest out of this pile.
Yep, I would agree with that.
Was this sealed bottle of cola.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, well, what's a weirder drink than a drink that you find on the side of the road?
Yeah.
So I've got it here today. It's
wonderful.
It's got a full cap that I've got to use a.
It's a glass bottle. Jett's going to open it now. It's got a silver cap on it. Nice.
Oh,
it's making sounds.
Now I haven't got any salt with me, unfortunately.
That's a great disappointment, but that's okay.
But I thought that this would be weird enough.
I think this counts because who knows what's built up in there over months. The thing about this drink, which I'll tell you while Jett has a sip, is that it's clearly been in the pantry or the fridge for so long that these people moved house and still had not found a reason or excuse to consume it.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's pretty good. It's not too
I'm surprised.
fizzy. It's not too cold either. I wish I had some ice for it. I'm trying to see if it has an expiration date. I see some sort of printing on it, but it's just a random assortment
It's
of
probably
numbers.
fine.
On
As
the
a medical
bottom,
professional, I'm going to say that you can drink that.
I see something 06
Yeah.
down the bottom. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't think there was anything on the cap. Look, I reckon we're fine.
I think you're fine.
It's pretty tasty. Plus, cola, if you can use it to clean stuff, you can probably stay in a cupboard for 7 years.
Yeah.
Or however long it's been since 2006. 7 years, right?
I got news for you.
Hmm?
It's 9 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really annoying.
Why is
wow,
that?
3 years have gone by and I wasn't even
Yep.
paying attention.
Yeah.
Wow. We're getting on this podcast stuff real early.
Yeah, I know.
We're going to be real famous
I know,
for this. If this stuff kicks off, who
Happy New
knows?
Year 2016.
Imagine if celebrities get on this. Think of like a Hamish and Andy.
Yeah.
Think of like a Joe Rogan, that guy that everyone sort of is
Who's
pretty. He does that Fear Factor show where he puts scorpions in people's mouths.
I haven't
Live
heard of
ones.
this guy.
I'm actually don't think I'm very far from the truth here. I don't think he physically does it, but I think he makes other people put scorpions in their mouths.
each other's mouths?
No, in their own mouths. But
In their own mouths?
Yeah. I think people should be putting scorpions in his mouth. Might snip his tongue and then
That'd be good.
just hush for a little bit.
Just shut up, Joe.
Just think
all right?
for a little.
Just
have a little
think.
Just taste that sweet
Think,
scorpion.
Alex Jones just went bankrupt because of all the court cases against him. Maybe I should think about that.
See, the thing about not Alex, the thing about Joe Rogan is, I don't think he just. Sorry, I just realized that this is very much leaning into, like, I was just about to critique Joe Rogan and then just do a Joe Rogan, basically. I leaned back in my chair, I brought my arm back.
With your beer-looking bottle in it.
Beer-looking bottle. I've got a joint of weed in my left hand. We record all of these high, by the way. We
Explains a lot. No, we don't.
I was just gonna say
Only the guest episodes. Anyway.
he brings a lot of opinionated people in, and I think that's the main
Opinionated
thing.
Us.
No, I'm not.
Actually, I think not.
I'm talking about not. I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah,
Joe
okay,
Rogan
okay.
does that.
But you're saying that you feel like you were doing a Joe Rogan.
No, I just felt like I was
embodying.
Yeah, well, I had to. If I was to critique the man,
If you were to.
before you throw a stone in someone else's glass house, walk in their glass shoes first and see if you're Cinderella.
This is okay. Yeah.
And if you
Jett
are,
has
you
brought
get to
back their
go to the
favourite
ball
character.
and kiss the prince.
The person who doesn't
Who is Joe
understand
Rogan.
metaphors.
But I think his main thing is like the other people are the opinionated people. So he just like brings it and like gets them talking and saying stuff. And
You
then
get all the controversy points, but none of the cancelled.
But I think he gets some of the cancelled.
He gets a lot of the cancelled.
Yeah.
And the other people get a lot of the controversy points.
The thing is, if you're talking with an iffy person about iffy stuff, you're engaging in an iffy conversation.
Yeah.
And if you're just trying
and
to
if you
keep them
put
talking,
microphones in front of that,
it's like walking on glass.
shoes?
No, just glass on the ground.
Thin ice?
Yeah. Might smash.
Yeah, that'd
Might
be
fall down.
bad.
underneath the glass.
Or good.
Where
The
there's
thin the
more
ice.
glass.
Oh, sorry, it'll melt.
No, it's not. It's not ice. It's
No?
glass.
Oh, sorry. It's glass that's like thin ice.
I think
That's
he's
why you
walking
can't- you're
on thin
walking on
ice,
Mm-hmm.
and then but he's wearing a lot of glass, and glass is heavy, and then he smashes and falls down into
Yeah.
the glass, so he's
Yeah.
hurt himself. So that's
Glass on glass
That's
action.
him saying he's gonna. Him talking to other people is the thin glass. Got me? You
Yeah,
with me?
I'm with you.
Great, walking on thin glass.
Yeah.
And inevitably it's going to break
Yes.
because he's going to slip up and say something in an effort to get someone else to say something.
Yeah.
Or just entertain a possibility, like an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's fallen in the glass himself and he's gotten himself hurt. Make sense?
When does it turn into an elevator?
It doesn't, but that's the Edward Norton character in Glass Onion was based off Joe Rogan.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah, right?
Disruptors and whatever.
Disruptors.
All right, let's do a podcast.
All right.
This
a
is-
glass podcast?
Yeah, let's do a glass podcast.
What glass have you brought today?
I could. Yeah. What have you started?
I'll tell you what I've started. I have started the TV show Percy Jackson and the Olympians. This is a show that I've talked about on the podcast briefly before.
You said you were going to watch it. You said it's coming up.
Did I say it is coming up that I'd started watching it?
No,
Okay.
because it was coming up because it wasn't out yet.
All right, a little backstory for
I
you,
think.
for all you listeners. A recent
Oh.
it's not too bad. Basically,
Backstory?
Ruben and I watched the first
Would-
episode
oh, yeah.
together.
We did.
And then we were hanging out with a friend from Heather's, Esther,
Mm-hmm.
and we were like, oh, we should watch something. Let's watch Percy Jackson. Oh, dang, we can't watch Percy Jackson because we'd watched the first episode. So we're like, okay, let's watch the movie. So then we proceeded to watch the 2010 Percy Jackson film. And then after that, Reuben and I went back to watching the show. So far.
Which is better, I would say.
Yes.
Hot take.
We have watched episode 1, Percy Jackson, then the Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief movie, and then episode 2, 3, and 4.
Yes.
2, 3, and 4 of the Percy Jackson
yes.
and the Olympians show.
Yes. We've also both read the book.
And we both read the book. I've read all of the books and all but the last book of Heroes of Olympus. Reuben has
I've read the first book at least 3 times, maybe going on 4.
Brilliant. So you're this season of this show,
I know
you're on it.
exactly what's going on, except for all the times when I'm like, did this happen in the book? Jett, is this new?
That's a good question. I might have a game for us later.
Uh-oh.
But first
Oh, no.
I want to talk
Oh, no.
I want to talk about this show.
Okay.
What do you think of it?
It's good.
Yeah.
Look, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
shows have like this certain quality of the way that they look now, and I'm like, it
That's
looks
not
like
true.
a show. What do you
Oh,
mean?
wait. Oh, I thought you were going to say good. No, they look bad.
No, but I think I turned to you in partway through episode 4 and I said, whoa, this is like a real episode of TV. Like, this thing has a theme. Which is always a good sign.
I think it's because we were watching something on Disney Plus, and often when we've been watching a
Yeah.
series together on Disney Plus, it's been a Marvel show
Yeah.
where it's been like Secret Invasion and it hasn't been
Yeah.
good. Yeah, it does. It is like good TV.
It feels like a show, you know, which is fine. But it took me a long time to settle into that.
I feel like it feels a bit like a good CW superhero show.
Like, it doesn't feel...
In the way that it feels like a show and episodic, but
Yeah.
it still feels better written.
Yeah.
And the CGI looks good,
Yeah, that's nice.
which is really nice. Yeah.
The cast are really young. I keep turning to I'm like, that's a kid. I'm sorry, that's a literal child.
It helped that we watched the movie between the first and second episode, so it really hammered home how different it is when they're children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's so many things that we've seen where it's like, this person's 22, but they look 15. It's like, yeah, but this person's 14 and they look 12. So,
And they're meant to be 13, so
Yeah.
it's a real who's who.
we're giving them room to age. Room to age.
But yeah, they're young, and there have been a couple of times where I'm like, oh, that was a bit iffy, but also most of the time they're great.
You mean like acting wise?
Acting wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're always going to have that with kids. You have
Yeah.
that with the Harry Potter kids.
It reminds me of the early Harry Potters a lot, of course.
It's interesting because I'm relating it to the early Harry Potters, but then it's also very hard to take away how new it is and all of the new... Like, it does feel like a show that's coming out today when
Big
if you
time.
watch the Harry Potter things.
He did flossing, for example.
He did a floss. Yes,
Which
Percy
was quite
Jackson
funny,
did a
actually.
floss. Yeah, it's pretty good. But so far they've gone, spoilers for Percy Jackson?
Spoilers for
Percy.
first Percy Jackson.
For Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bolt!
The bolt! Oh, yeah, that was...
That
While
was
we were
fun.
watching the movie, it was so weird.
What
'cause
is your start of it here? All of Percy Jackson 3 times?
No, it's the show, and then we're relating it to
All
the
right,
movie.
great,
We're
just
allowed to
checking.
discuss
Yeah,
other
yeah,
mediums.
all right.
When in the Percy Jackson movie, every time they said bolt, we thought they were saying boat.
Bolt.
Well, I mean,
the bolt!
we knew
The
that
master bolt!
we knew that they were saying bolt.
Yeah.
Well,
But it's funny to pretend that it did sound... There was no L in
hey,
there.
Reuben, can you grab that bolt for me?
Sorry, what?
That boat.
That
bolt?
The bolt.
It's also an American accent, so it's like bolt.
Yeah.
Bolt.
It's especially funny when Pierce Brosnan did it. I don't know. He said it maybe just once.
He said
The bolt.
the bolt.
No, that wasn't it. Yeah, something like that.
Shaken, not stirred. I was trying to think of another Pierce Brosnan thing.
Yeah.
Was he in Mamma Mia?
Yeah, very much so. Very
Really?
memorably so.
Excellent.
Very poor singingly so.
I thought he was good in it. Doesn't matter. We're
He
talking
was
about
good.
Percy
He's a
Jackson,
good
the Bolt
actor.
Thief.
Don't worry,
Percy's still on a
I
boat.
just called Pierce Percy. Doesn't matter. I was going to say, don't worry, Percy. I can't sing either. That means nothing.
It means nothing.
Okay, so Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
We're already in spoilers, so I don't know what the point of explaining it is. He's a demigod. He's the son of Poseidon. And he's got to go on a quest.
Did you forget for a second?
No, I was going to say spoilers, but I realised that I just said that. The son of Spiceidon, Spicy Poseidon, Poseidon's long-lost twin.
Ooh, this water is... Ooh, did someone put paprika in this? Ooh.
Poseidon, stop tasting the water.
Is
Zeus
spicy...
is coming round. We have to look respectable. He's our brother.
I
got that right, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just trying to figure out a way to continue the bit, but I couldn't
I don't
really.
think there's
I feel like it
anything-
would be better if Spicy Poseidon was sexy. Like a spicy, that's
Oh,
all.
like a spicy Poseidon.
Hey, do you want to come into my hot tub? I can get it all hot with the paprika that I put in it.
Poseidon actually came down to try and like woo Percy's mum, but she was like, "No, I'm having none of it." And it was only when spicy Poseidon showed up that she was like, "Yeah, I could go for that.
I could go for Spiceidon.
I could go for that."
So, son of Poseidon is a demigod, gets pulled in to go to Camp Half-Blood, which is a camp for half-bloods, like demigods, and then gets sent on a quest to go to the underworld to retrieve the lightning bolt, because...
Every time I think about the underworld, I think of how bold it was for Hades to just name it Hades. Like that'd be like if God was like, "Hey guys, when you die, there are 2 places you can go. One of them's hell, and the other one's God. I'm just naming it after me."
Hades isn't the name of the underworld.
No,
No!
I keep thinking it is.
No, it's called,
Oh,
it's called the underworld.
They keep saying go to Hades, but I guess they mean Hades the guy.
They mean go to...
Yeah.
It's not called Hades.
Isn't
It's
it?
called the underworld. And there are different layers of the underworld. There's Tartarus,
Oh my
there's
God,
Aspen,
we're not doing this
and
again.
then there's Elysium.
That means that Hades the game is named after Hades, even though the main character is Zagreus.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was named after Hades.
No, because your whole thing is against... You're going against your father.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Imagine if every game was named after its villains. Like The Last of Us was just like David Part 1.
Say it's more zombies. The Human
Yeah?
Condition Part
Oh
1.
no.
Yeah. So...
Andor is just Fascism Season 1.
Andor is just... hold on. I'll get it. I'll get
Okay,
it.
I trust you.
What's her name? The one that all the Star Wars people complain about.
Oh, Kathleen Kennedy.
Kathleen Kennedy
Season
Part
1.
1. I'm sorry.
I wish I hadn't helped you out with that.
So they're going down to Hades
Yeah.
because they know Spicy Poseidon didn't steal the Master Ball. The Master Ball's been stolen. Zeus's Master Ball's been stolen.
He's
So
given everyone 14 days to give it back, probably. Or 7 or 10. I don't know.
specifically for Percy to give it by the solstice.
Yeah.
Because he's like, someone's stolen it. Percy Jackson is a kid that shouldn't exist because the big 3, Hades, Poseidon, and Zeus, shouldn't have kids.
Except for all the kids they have.
Yeah. This is a recent rule. So he's like...
Recent and short-lived.
The gods can't steal each other's weapons or like fuck with each other, really. It's a no-no. So Zeus thinks that Poseidon used his son to steal the Master Bolt. So Percy Jackson has to go down to Hades to say, hey, give me the Master Bolt so I can give it back to Zeus. That's his quest. His mother's also down in the underworld.
Because she died.
Because she died in a burst of golden dust. So
disintegrated like a monster.
Yeah.
Think she's a monster?
Do you think that she's a monster?
Well, no, but the show's changing things, so, you know, you never know.
So, I don't know. Maybe you also haven't read the rest of the books.
I haven't read the rest of the books. Maybe.
Maybe that's the reason why she came in with the Spiceidon. She was like, no. And then she's like, actually, I'm a monster that's specifically very into paprika. It sets me in heat. Paprika. I don't know where this is going. So, anyways, what was I saying? That's Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson.
The show. It's a really good adaptation of the books.
It's pretty good.
It has a lot of the stuff that the books were doing.
Because funny that when you include the writer of the original,
or when the writer wants to be included.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know how much with the movies Rick Riordan, the author of these books, wanted to be included, but when those movies were being made, people asked him, hey, what's going on? And he was like, I have no clue. I licensed it out. They're doing something. And this one, he's like he's in multiple of the episodes as a cameo. So, when you include the writer, it's a lot better.
Yeah.
As I said, the kids are really good. The world building is good. I feel like they're explaining all the elements of this specific version of mythological world within the real world current dayness very well in an easily to understand way. They're also, because it's a show, they get to elaborate on things a bit more than maybe the movie did, but maybe the movie did some things that are more interesting than the books did. I mean, not the books. I can't spoil. So, look, I'm trying to lean into. There are differences between these, right?
Yeah.
The books, the movies, the show.
What do you think You just implied that you think it's something that the show did not as well as something else. What was that?
Well, I haven't seen the bit in the show, but
okay.
The Lady Gaga Lotus Casino.
Oh, you're thinking can't be topped
in the movie?
I think it can be topped.
Phenomenal.
So
good.
I think they're cooking something special. Because they changing some things that we know. It was literally the Medusa scene started. I was like, I've just seen this like so many times, and then it was different in the show.
It was, but also was that the same as what it is in the books?
No.
Well, how would you know? You've only read them 4 times.
I've only read them like 3 or 4 times.
So
I'll have to read it again. This is what happens. I forget everything about Percy Jackson. I have to start again.
Well, with that being said, let's test your memory, shall we?
No, let's not. Okay.
I'm proposing a game. This game is called Percy Jackson. Or or Peter Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does it work?
Or Percy... That's not the name of this.
Can it be Percy Jackson or Pierce Brosnan?
Can it be Spiceidon's game of...
Oh, no.
Percy Jackson adaptions?
Yep.
Brilliant.
Okay.
So, what I have here in Spiceidon's game of Percy Jackson adaptions is a list of things that differ from the book.
In different adaptions. And your job what am I doing?
Is to guess which adaptation changed this thing.
Now, you would think that's 50-50, but I somehow feel like I'm going to get less than 50% marks on this test. All right,
I'm gonna
hit
set
me
you,
with it.
I'm gonna set up.
What you
set
got?
You up with a.
Don't say easy one.
With an easy one.
I'll be embarrassed when I get it wrong. Why did you say easy one?
Okay. Annabeth and Percy.
Yep.
A 16 instead of 13.
And so what? So for every one of these, I'm saying movie or book.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm saying movie or show.
Yeah.
Why am I saying movie like Harry Styles? It's like a real movie. You know, like that you go to cinema to see. Like a real movie. All right, that's enough of that. All right, that one's movie.
That one's movie? Correct.
Oh, thank God.
Good job. Here's another one.
Okay.
These also might... Oh.
I was going to say Grover's not also 16, but he's like 24 or whatever.
Now, we might have some discrepancies with these because sometimes the movie had to cut down stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, there's no connections. Nobody talks about how the gods basically were the reason for World War II. The Greek gods, them feuding was the cause of World War II.
So I am choosing the adaptation where that is not discussed.
Yes.
Movie.
Wrong. It's the show.
Wait, so it is addressed in the movie?
Yes.
We watched this literally days ago.
So,
why do I not remember this?
In the... I'm pretty sure. Most of these I'm like 90% sure.
I'm not going to know, clearly.
In the book, at least, it's discussed that there was a war between the big gods, the big three, and I think the reason for them not having any more demigod children was that feud, and that war thing was World War II.
It's like the opposite of baby boomers.
Which gods were on which side? Meaning, which gods were sided with Hitler?
Wait, is this an actual question?
No.
Okay.
I'm just posing it out.
Probably
there,
Hades.
You'd think. But who knows?
Actually, probably all of them.
Probably
I reckon it was all of the gods.
Yeah. Nice.
And someone turned the lights out and they panicked and they all did a Nazism on each other.
Okay, here's one.
Okay.
The Hydra expels a different...
Oh, no.
A different thing.
Okay, so in the movie, it did flame.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it doesn't do that in the book, so I'm going to say movie.
Yeah, in the book
Thank
it did
God.
acid.
Yeah, I thought it was some
acid.
sort of weird
Yeah,
liquid.
nice. Cool.
I think that fire looked pretty good for 2010.
Yeah.
I was happy with
Looked
that.
pretty
scene.
decent.
Yeah.
Here's another one about a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Or is she? Medusa,
Mm-hmm.
the way that they trap her to kill her is different.
Oh no.
She's killed differently.
Oh no.
Now, you can work this out verbally if you'd like.
I feel like...
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I might be mixing this up with real Greek mythology, which is a different adaptation to consider.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Percy uses a shield or some other thing that is not an eye to reflect... Okay, so...
Yeah.
So, define different method. Like... Wait.
In all of them, she is decapitated,
Yeah.
but it's a different method of
I mean, I
trapping
feel like
her
in
to
the
kill her
book they don't blindly drive a car.
into her.
Yeah.
They don't.
So, show.
Show is the different one, the one that they changed it?
I feel like this is a trick, but I'm going to say show.
Okay. It is... Wait, what am I saying?
Can I say both?
No. Okay, so you're saying the show's different?
I'm saying both are different to the book.
No, you have to say one or the other.
Show.
Oh, it is the show.
Okay, great.
What
happens in the book?
In the book, while they don't use an iPod, they do use a reflection of a crystal ball.
I thought it was a reflection, but in my head I had shield, and I was like, but wait.
So the reflection's the same. But yeah, in the show, what they use is Annabeth's cap, that makes you invisible. They put that on her.
Oh, yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Forgot
yeah.
about that bit.
They use no.
And they also drive a car into her.
They do in the movie, yes.
No, in the show.
No, they don't.
Yes.
No.
No?
No.
Yes.
In the movie, they blindly drive a car into her.
Really?
Yes. You watched these just the other day.
Yeah, one after the other.
Okay. Here's the next one.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. I trust you.
Okay. Okay. Luke, the character Luke, son of Hermes, the fashion brand, has never met his dad.
That's the change?
Yeah, that's a change. In the book, he had met his dad before.
I think I can get this.
Paprika.
Ah! Ooh!
Welcome to my hot tub.
So he... Oh my
I can make
God.
waves if you know what I mean.
I can picture... the problem that you've given me here is that it's the same story. So every time I'm like, yeah, I vividly remember that scene. I'm like, yeah, but which Luke was it and which Percy was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in the movie, it is later revealed that his dad maybe gave him the boat, implying that they had met, but that's not known until the end of the movie. And in the show, they're at Camp Half-Blood for like half an episode. And then it's like, surprise, this whole TV show is a quest. You're not going to get any more Camp Half-Blood, soz lol. And Luke, I'm just going to guess, and it's going to be movie. Wait, no, what did I say? No, because I'm going to guess show.
Show changed it? You are wrong. In the movie, Luke says he's never met his father. But in the book and the show...
Because Luke stole the boat himself. Is that correct?
Yeah, spoilers for Percy Jackson.
Yeah, we said that so long ago.
I just want to make it very clear.
All right.
Yeah, Luke stole the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. For his own
I didn't know if his dad gave it to him or not.
No, his dad didn't.
No, why would he?
No.
Makes no sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Here's one. Grover has crutches.
Is that a change into crutches or
doesn't
away
have
from crutches?
The crutches element was changed. Grover either did have crutches and doesn't, or didn't have crutches and does.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go insane. You're making me question everything. In the
what?
I don't
Just
know.
make a decision, Reuben.
In the book he has crutches.
That's what you're saying? So the show is different.
Thank you. I think I got some information out of you there that I didn't have, but I'm not sure what information I got. So I'm saying that the
show changed it so he doesn't have crutches.
Yeah, but why are you so keen for me to say that? Yeah, the show. Because you said, why doesn't he have crutches, maybe?
The film. They added crutches for the film.
Really?
He doesn't have them in the book.
What's his disguise? Legs.
Just legs.
Cool.
Do you want another Grover one?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Grover,
Yeah.
instead of asking for help from a dog, asked from a little poodle, asked for help from a squirrel. Now this one...
We haven't got to yet.
We haven't got to yet.
So it's got to be the show.
Do you think it's the show? Or it could be from the second movie.
Oh, jeez. I'm going to say show.
He asked for help from a little stray poodle that's run away from its owner, and Grover also convinces the poodle to go back to its owner. So that's pretty cute. But
That's cute, but shouldn't he, say, be free?
In this adaptation...
Yeah, in the show.
In the adaptation...
Okay. Oh, okay.
It's been changed to a squirrel.
I feel like I haven't seen a squirrel at all, so I'm going to say show.
You're going to say show? You're wrong.
What?
It's The Lightning Thief, a Percy Jackson musical.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, to be fair...
Yep.
No, you specified squirrel. I was going to say, to be fair, he didn't ask for help from a dog in the things that we've seen. But I'm not correct, because you said, where was it changed to a squirrel? Mm-hmm. And the answer is this frickin' musical or whatever that you just made up. All right.
It's not
I
made
know
up.
I'm sure it's real.
People like it.
Yeah.
It's a very faithful musical. How faithful?
Well, they changed it to the wrong animal, so it can't be that faithful.
Yeah, but I
That
don't know
said,
about
it's cut from the other two
listeners.
adaptations, so...
Okay, here's a couple more. I got a couple more
This
for
is
you.
ridiculous.
Percy Jackson is not referred to as Seaweed Brain by Annabeth. That's Annabeth's nickname for Percy
Yeah, I
Jackson.
remember it vividly from the book.
Yeah,
now
it
that
was
you
a bunch.
reminded me of this thing that I'd forgotten about.
Seaweed Brain is what Spiceidon calls it when people go down on him.
Movie.
Yeah, it's the movie. Percy gets a bit more time at camp. A bit more time than he normally does in the book.
Show.
Yeah, in the show, he gets a bit more time to hang out with.
There's a whole montage of him just failing at skills.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, here I'll give you one more. Percy knows that his father isn't dead.
From when?
From straight off the bat.
Ah.
In the book, he thinks his father's dead.
Yeah.
Which one? Is it the show? Is it the movie? Is it the musical? Sorry, it's actually The Lightning Thief, a Percy Jackson musical.
A Percy Jackson musical?
Well, I don't know if
Implying
it's
the existence of other Percy Jackson
I might be
musicals.
misquoting the title of this musical, which I now very much want to see. What do you think?
I forgot what I'm thinking about. Read it again.
Percy
knows that his
knows
dad
that
is
his father
not
is
dead.
not dead.
Well, in the movie, like a real movie that you go to the cinema to see, like a movie, it's revealed very early that his dad is Poseidon, which you were not super happy with, and everyone knows about it. But I'm thinking about the chat that he has with his mum in the cabin, which I remember from the show, and I know that it must have happened, which I remember from the show, and I know that it must have happened in the movie, but I'm pretty sure I can't remember it unless that is what I'm thinking of. I'm just going to guess, because there's only 2.5 options, aren't there? Mm-hmm. I'm going to say show.
Ooh. I was really hoping you'd say musical there.
Me too.
Do you want to change your answer to musical?
No.
Are you sure?
I want to change my answer to movie.
Okay, change it to movie.
I'm keeping it on the show.
You keeping it on the show?
Yeah.
It is the film and the show. Both of them. Both of them he knows.
You said it wouldn't be both.
I was really hoping that you'd say musical and you could be completely wrong.
I almost did.
And that was...
exhausting.
Poseidon's Percy Jackson, which one came from which thing, which changes. How'd you find that?
That was awful. Well, thank you for providing our first nomination for the 2024 Oscars Most Painful Game.
You're welcome. You are very,
It's
very
a strong
welcome.
opening gambit.
Thank you.
And I
Thank
don't
you.
want to do any more of these.
Anything else you want to say about Percy
Yes,
Jackson?
there is one thing that I would like to say. It's my very favourite, absolute favourite bit of the show.
Yep, go for
It's
it.
the credits.
The credit. No, you're not saying
And not
that.
in a bad way. Like my favourite part of Spy Kids 2 was the credits, which it was. But
Rude. But because
in a good way, because the credits are really good.
They have this
which is
Art
also true of
Deco,
Spy Kids 2.
That it's an Art Deco style that's sort of these moving
It's so
panels
good.
showing the story of Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief,
It's so good.
which works.
Medusa's hair is a highway.
Yeah.
Other metaphors. They're playing capture the flag over the hills.
Because it's America and New York and the Art Deco.
The Chimera is
that.
there somewhere.
Yeah.
Other things from the show are in the thing. It's just nice and looks nice. And it's nice that Secret Invasion isn't the best we can do for titles. Just AI goop.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
Thanks
it's
Disney
nice.
Plus for a really good opening sequence after a really very
Closing
sequence after a very bad opening
sequence.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Percy Jackson is good. I recommend starting it. If you've been into Percy Jackson in the past, you're already watching this.
Don't start with the first book.
If
you will need to read it so many times.
Where are you suggesting people start?
Probably the show.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Like it's an adaptation.
You
but
have to
it's
keep
got
in
a lot
mind,
of
it
in
also is a kid's book.
Yeah.
In the way of like being, it's meant for 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds. So keep that in mind when you're reading it. I also recommend...
I do. I think that's a big part of why it doesn't stick in my brain.
I also recommend it to people who are into Harry Potter but don't want to be into Harry Potter anymore. It is a great Harry Potter version of a vape. No. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
If Harry Potter is
a cigarette,
then Percy Jackson is a vape,
but with no
because
nicotine.
you're going to be way more addicted,
but with lots of nicotine.
And it's not going to really.
And you're still going to end up watching Harry Potter, probably.
Yeah, but you'll at least have your focus divided, and you'll be addicted to something else that's better. No.
That you believe for a bit is better.
That tastes better. Has more flavour to it.
Is more socially acceptable. That's the metaphor you're looking
there we
for.
go.
There it is.
Yeah. That's my start at it.
Great.
What's your start at it, Reuben?
My start at it is a shared start at it. You're involved in this whether you like it or not, but don't worry, I'll phrase it in the first person. I have started playing Fog of Love.
My cards are on the table, yours are in your hand. Chances are tonight.
Ooh.
But like, we have started. I mean, I guess I could play it with someone else, but that feels weird. Right?
Because we had plans to get married.
Yeah.
And I'd get jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'd be doing a real life Fog of Love.
Whoa.
Remember that card?
No.
We need to have a conversation, darling. You'd be playing that daily.
I would. Tell us what Fog of Love is.
All right, I will. It's a board game that is cooperative asterisk, and it's like the pitch, the tagline is that it's a rom-com board game, I guess. So you're playing two people, very strangely coded pink and blue, but it can be two people of whatever you want. And they've fallen in love, or they're going to, or they did a while ago. Depends what's like bitch you go with. They're told like stories, like rom-coms in 3 chapters. And each card that you play is a scene. And in those scenes, you have a bit of flavor text, and then you ask yourself or the other person, or both of you, most interestingly, both of you, to make a choice. And based on that choice, a few things change, like your satisfaction, which is how happy you are in the relationship, and what the relationship is texturally. Thank you. Yeah. That one. Which so it could be things like you're more or less organized, you're more or less gentle, you're more or less. I think sincerity and is one of the sliders. There's like 6 of those.
Adventurous or something is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the game. Oh, and then at the end you have a goal, which depends on the scenario. Our goal for the like tutorial intro was just to like stay together and do our best to fulfill our destiny, which could be anything and can change as you go. So the destinies might be to be equal partners, or to be a dominant partner, or to break up. I guess we didn't have any of those in this one, but it's like what you want out of the relationship.
But each player has their own destiny that they choose, and the way that you win as a player is you fulfill that destiny.
So you might be happy in the relationship, or as unhappy as you want to be in the relationship, and your partner doesn't have to be, because they're trying to fulfill their own destiny.
Yes. So you might break up at the end, you might not, but your goal is to fulfill your destiny. It is the way that the main mechanic of it works, as you pull cards that will have scenarios on them. A lot of them have multiple choice things, so like an A, B, C, or D. And so one of them that we had very early on, because they get a bit more intense as the game progresses. You have very like lovely ones, and then a bit more serious.
Sweet and serious and drama.
Oh yeah, sweet, serious, drama. One of the sweet ones was...
Should have been sweet and serious and Spiceidon, but...
Spicy.
Interacting with him really throws a spanner in any relationship, because you're suddenly like... Whoa, I don't know about this anymore, because I just seen Spiceidon over here in the hot tub.
Exactly. But then he pisses off for a while. So
and then what do you do? You got to rebuild?
You got to go for the lowest of the low. You go for Gabe.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Because if nothing's ever going to match up, why try?
That's right.
Gabe actually doesn't protect Percy at all.
No?
Percy's mum just doesn't think she could
She's
ever
given
do
up.
that. No.
That's real sad.
Yeah.
It
is.
Can't follow Poseidon.
Or
whichever one it is in our headcanon.
So
you pick an option from A to D secretly.
Well, yeah, a card that we had, one of them that I pulled was you make your partner breakfast in bed.
That was fun.
What's being made? So it was like pancakes and ice cream, like eggs and toast and baked beans, or like waffles and berries, or name another one. I can't think of it.
Breakfast?
Name another
I wasn't listening to the first three you said. I was waiting for you to finish talking.
Okay, another one is...
bacon.
Yeah.
17 slices of raw bacon.
Yeah. And so...
You have to guess whether your partner, what they want.
Well, yeah. So if me is the person who's bringing the breakfast, and Reuben is the person who's receiving the breakfast, we both choose...
First of all, Reuben is the person who's receiving the breakfast should shut up and be very happy and thankful for whatever they're receiving. But because this is a rom-com and part of that is conflict, rom-conflict, famously romantic conflict is what those movies are about, there's lots of opportunity for me to not like the breakfast.
I really like the violent scenes in Love Actually,
where
they just beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Because
Good
that's
action
a terrible, terrible movie.
It's a rom-com.
The characters just all become like self-aware, and realize how terrible the movie is, and realize how much they're just like making fat-phobic jokes and just being like, just very like quite misogynistic, and just people cheating on other people, and they're like, this isn't actually very nice or a very good message to anyone. Let's just beat the shit out of each other so we all die, and just make this, we could just stop. That's my favorite rom-com.
Favorite scene from a rom-com.
Anyways, we'd both choose A, B, C, or D secretly, of which one, where basically in the story, it's which one I have presented.
And which one I would like to have presented.
And if we both match, then we both get a benefit. That's great.
Great.
If we don't match, in the situation of presenting that breakfast, I don't think I get any, with that specific card, I don't get any pluses or minuses in my satisfaction, but Reuben gets minuses.
Yeah.
Because Reuben didn't get what Reuben wanted. But also...
all I asked for is 17 slices of raw bacon, and you come up here with a gourmet handcrafted pancake breakfast? What is this?
I just thought maybe it would be
What
better for
is
your
this?
cholesterol.
Well, that's when they get really funny. There's cards like, do I look fat in this? And like first, furniture shopping trip and other fun things. Oh, like, should we make a joint account?
Yeah.
How much should we put in it?
How much should we put in our joint bank account?
Conversations we've literally had, so that was fun.
Or like, never mind, let's just not.
Yeah, let's
just
not.
forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you also, there is, I wouldn't say a role-playing element, but
I would.
Okay. Well, you pick a name for your character, and I guess there is. You do when certain cards come up. Sometimes you have to tell a story,
and that starts right at the start because one of the first things you pick is like physical attribute. You pick your own character, and then you pick a occupation or whatever. But then you pick. I think they're called features for the other person. So it might be like nose ring or short or old-fashioned clothes. I think those are some of the ones we had.
Yeah.
And the first task that you're given is to describe as your character, to roleplay why you were first attracted to these things in the other person, and then you give them the card and it's part of their character.
Yeah, so I can't remember what any of the things that I had for you were.
You liked my nose ring, that was the third one.
So yeah, I would...
Muscular, I was muscular.
Yep.
And a secret third thing.
Yeah, but so I probably said when I handed you one of them, I was like, when I first met you, I was really, astounded by how muscular you were, because I like people who put time into their physique, also kind of attracted to the power of being with a muscular person. So that really turned me on. That was one of the things that, shone a spotlight on you when we first met.
Great.
So, you do that, and then some cards are like, tell me about your high school experience.
Who was that person you were talking to?
Yeah, who was that person?
What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done in public?
Yeah, things like
Wink.
that. But also, you're not meant to. It is very explicit in the rules. You are playing basically. While you are talking as the character, you are also not the character. Don't get too invested in this.
Because you're also playing
character.
God.
Yeah. So basically, don't be emotionally attached.
Yeah. Just slip into and out of. Being that character a bit.
You're still yourself playing the game.
You're playing this. I think the wording on the box was you're playing this character, but you're also playing the story, which was fun. We lost, as in we both failed by a very slim margin to fulfill our destinies, but it felt like we won. Like it felt like the story worked.
I would like to point out that was neither of our faults that we lost. And it's just sometimes what happens.
It's just something that happens when you sit your partner down 2 scenes before the end of the rom-com and you say, I need you to completely change your personality so that you aren't happy anymore. It was a mutual thing.
Reuben, your character was just not.
I was so disciplined. We were working together.
You were being too
we wanted to
disciplined.
be equal partners.
I could see you putting all your tokens towards discipline.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not going to work out.
Yeah.
We need to do...
It was working perfectly.
It was too much. I was afraid that you were going to spiral into burnout. I thought, look, you need to, become a more
You had literally
evenly
just dropped out of
person.
politics to start a bakery and you're worried about me burning out from my management job.
Exactly. When I saw that there was an issue, I was like, no, I'll change and do baking because that's what I really enjoy. Sure, my political run for mayor wasn't, how you say, going well, but I also love bread, so I just pivoted. That was healthy for me. You would never make that decision.
But what about in the roleplay, though?
Would you have ever made that decision?
Me or my character, Alexandra?
Would your character, Alexandra, ever make the decision to not be so disciplined?
It was literally one of my goals to have a balance of at least 5 discipline in the relationship. So unlikely.
Exactly.
Unless you made her completely change her personality.
So I
which you did.
had to come in, stick my beak in there and be like, sorry.
You should be more adventurous. You
Yeah.
should come start my bakery with me.
Yes, absolutely. Anyways,
Which
we
I'd
lost
already
it
agreed to
about
do.
it. Yeah.
Which made us both less happy? No.
I was doing great. I was on target for all of my.
One of your goals was your literal destiny was to be not more than 3 satisfaction away from me.
And I wasn't.
Yeah, until you made me real sad. And then we both failed.
If you didn't get so sad about it, we would have fulfilled our destinies.
Simply be less sad. That's my professional advice as someone with MD in their name.
That's pretty good.
But it was great because we were both at the end wanting to be equal partners, and we didn't know that about each other because you're kind of guessing at what destiny your partner has chosen, which can also change as it goes on. But there are fun ones like if both of us wanted to be dominant, we could not both succeed at our destinies. But if one of us wanted to be dominant and the other one wanted to do unconditional love, they're kind of mirrors of each other. So we could have had this wildly unbalanced relationship in terms of the character's happiness in it, but both fulfilled their destinies. I don't know what the messaging in this game is, but it's just fun to play.
Yeah.
Some people want to be. It's fine.
I got a side quest for you.
Side quest.
What? Are we talking about sexy gods too much?
Just you.
Last week we talked about Hades.
Yeah.
And how sexy all the gods were in that.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about giving some
Bearing
seaweed
in
brain
mind-
to Poseidon.
Bearing in mind that we did cut 21 minutes from last week's episode, sexy gods may or may not have made the cut.
Did you cut sexy god? This is why I normally do the editing. Wow.
I may have cut sexy gods, but they're back! Spiceidon! Wettest of the gods. Alright, that's
I think
enough.
you'd be great at Fog of Love. Where do you think all that mist is coming from? The steam from the spicy water.
Great. Good. I thought you were going to say that you thought we would be good at Fog of Love because all of this spur-of-the-moment roleplay that we do, but we were quite bad at the role-playing bits, I feel.
I think we weren't very good at it. I think we really need to get into the mood for it. Yeah.
But it's this really great mechanical puzzle because I am giving you questions, essentially. Most of the scene cards can be seen as a question to my partner in this cooperative puzzle that say, what do you want to fulfill your little secret traits and ultimately your destiny? And then you answer that. But in the process of answering that, if you're stuffing up what I want from the relationship, like if you're making us more sincere and I'm like, nah, I want to be real dogs, I want to be lying to each other all the time, then the player has learned information about what you, Jett, the player, want, but my character is like, what are you doing? Where's all this honesty coming from? Strange example, but that's how the game works.
Yeah, because I had manipulation as one of my traits. So I really wanted to create quite a toxic relationship. So if you asked me a question like, hey, who are you talking to back there? I'd be like, I wasn't talking to anyone. You were literally talking to a giant man who's covered in seaweed. Who the fuck was... No one.
No
clue.
No. Certainly wasn't Poseidon's secret twin brother. Definitely not.
Why would it be his twin brother?
I don't know.
What?
Isn't that what we said about the law?
No.
Isn't that what... No, it's supposed to be Poseidon, just Poseidon.
Poseidon.
Okay. I was way off track with the joke that we were building here, but that's
That
fine.
would make not be 3 gods, but
4
4.
forbidden gods. One so bad that they... Well, gods who can't have kids.
I think...
Because they're too attractive.
Too sexy.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know about it because I didn't talk about it last episode, apparently.
I would know all about it.
No, that's what Zeus has gone to. After his master bolt's been stolen, he has nothing left, so he just chucks on seaweed. It's like, well, I guess I'll just be a less sexy version of Poseidon. That's the only option I have left.
It's just Zeus in disguise.
Hey, you want to give me some kelped? Kelped? Kelped?
What are we doing here?
He's going out down Earth, trying to find someone that he could create a demigod with. He's jealous of Poseidon. No one's having any of it.
Okay.
What's Zeus without his lightning?
Ooze. Because the Z looks like a lightning bolt.
Poseidon, Oos, and Hades, which is just the underworld.
It's just the vibe of the underworld. The Trinity at the top of Greek goddom.
Do you regret starting Fog of Love?
I regret starting this podcast episode. No, I don't regret starting Fog of Love. I think people should think about it because it's like a very specific thing. But
Takes a bit to get set up, but
it wouldn't have taken a bit to get set up if we bought it second hand.
I bought it secondhand. You can pay me for it if
Jett
you want.
bought it second hand.
Yeah.
So we had to like reset the tutorial, which is designed to work if you just immediately open everything out of the box.
Everything's in
So
order.
that was a buggery, but we'll never have to do that again. I think it was quite accessible to the point where sometimes we were like, yeah, we understand this tutorial card. We get it.
At one
Literally
point,
just says, keep playing the game.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
turn over the next 6 more SIM cards until you reach the end of the chat. We get it. Play the game.
Yeah, so I think give it a think about, but
Yeah, it's fun.
I think it's really fun.
I'm looking forward to trying all of the like different scenarios. There's
Yes.
one called, so we played like Sunday Morning Date or something like the very first one. There's one called I Give It a Year, which I think you can break up or stay together after a year. And then there's one called something like Doom something where, and I think, I'm not sure, but I'm guessing from context that you have to break up at the end.
Oh.
And so how does the relationship change knowing that or something
Yeah.
like that?
And you can, like, it will always be different, even when you're playing the Sunday morning date thing.
Because you shuffle them all in.
Yeah, so we'll get a bunch of different cards we haven't gotten before. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Would you recommend it to anyone in particular?
I don't know. Like, yeah, I guess if you like rom-coms, look, if you're big into board games and you're looking for a new way of cooperative board game design, this is pretty interesting. Because the problem in my experience with co-op games is that they're single-player games in disguise, where the person who understands the systems the most just directs the action. But that doesn't work here.
This has a lot of moments when you both pick the same option and you align your relationship. That's really fun.
Yeah. I feel like it would be a great spectator sport. That's something that a couple of reviews said. They're like, yeah, it's only 2-player, but you can get a lot of fun out of watching it unfold as a story.
Yes.
And those, moments of connecting or misaligning.
Like a good rom-com.
Yeah, spectator sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're watching them all bludgeon each other to death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beating each other with a boom box outside of the person's house. Knock, knock, knock. Bam, bam, wham, wham, wham. The band Wham.
Nice. The band Radiohead. I'll put this radio in your head.
Oh, that's pretty good. I forgot the tune of Careless Whisper for a second. Sorry. Careless Whisper. Do you want to hear if I finished it?
Please, I would love to.
The thing that I finished
back on track
is the video game Spider-Man 2.
I was going to do the thing, like hum the thing, because it's so distinctive, but it flew out of my head.
Careless Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2 is a sequel to the PS4 Spider-Man game.
What else is it a sequel to?
The PS5 Spider-Man Miles Morales game.
What else is it a prequel to? Sequel to? I'm getting you to say the PS4 version. But what else is it a prequel to? Because of the leak that we know the next 10 years of games.
The Venom, Super Venom. We're doing Super Venom smashing across the city. Maybe in San Francisco, maybe not. Who knows?
Oh, really?
No, I don't know. I'm just guessing.
But you just described Spider-Man 2 so well.
Spider-Man 2. It's Spider-Man on the PS4, but it's the sequel, which is what I said. But it's very similar mechanically in the way of combat and stuff like that.
What's the characters? What's the story?
You want me to tell you who Spider-Man is?
Well, which one
Nice
is it? You just
try,
said that it was a
motherfucker.
sequel to Spider-Man
Nice
into Miles
try.
Morales. So which one is it?
It's a secret identity
Isbo.
for a reason.
Nice.
You think I know who Spider-Man is?
Everyone always knows who Spider-Man is.
No,
That's
not
what
true.
happened. Yeah.
Everyone knows who... No, nobody knows who Spider-Man is. Then Iron Man convinces Spider-Man to reveal his secret identity during Civil War.
Because there are no secret identities in the MCU.
No, we're talking about the comics.
Okay.
He doesn't reveal... He comes into the MCU during Civil War. Listen to what I'm saying!
I just pick out keywords.
Iron Man makes him reveal his
There's
secret
no time
identity.
for the rest of it.
And then One Day More happens, which is a Spider-Man comic that everyone hates. Something, something, Spider-Man semen, something, something, no one remembers who he is anymore. Aunt May dies,
That's another thing that seems to happen more and more recently.
and Mary Jane dies because of said Spider-Man semen.
Sounds like a bad comic.
It might be a different comic book, but maybe
I
that's
feel like
just...
you're thinking about Spider-Man the Clone Saga or something.
Oh, I probably
Yeah.
am. Yeah. Anyways, this game adapts some other notable Spider-Man comics, including the one with Kraven in it and
Yep.
the one with Venom in it.
Venom. Is it Kraven's Last Hunt?
Kraven's Last Hunt. Yeah.
That was
So-
a total guess based on the very little that I know about Kraven, but it seems likely.
It is. So
And it's probably called Venom Symbiote something or something of Symbiote or whatever.
I will tell you that this game does, you play as Spider-Man, as in Peter Parker Spider-Man and Miles Morales. And so it's interesting that you get to switch between them in this game because, you know, we had Spider-Man when you play as Spider-Man. Miles Morales, you were playing as Miles. This one, you get to switch between them for all the side missions, and in the main missions, it basically evenly divides who you're playing as. But it's interesting playing as a Spider-Man dynamic duo with the new Spider-Man, new to the scene, and an old 26-year-old Spider-Man who owns a house that he got from a dead relative.
That's normal.
Yeah, that's the only way to get a
Yeah.
house. But yeah, it does. The main villains are, as we said, Kraven and Venom. First time Venom's been in a video game for a while. First time Kraven's been in a video game for a while. First time we've seen an adaptation of Kraven until we get that one that's the
Coming
movie-
out this year, allegedly.
Who's that? What's his name?
Kraven.
No, the actor.
I don't know.
It's one of the.
El Muerto?
No, what? The guy who played Quicksilver in.
Oh, wait, Evan Peters isn't doing.
No, the one in the MCU.
Oh.
Who played Kick-Ass?
Well, yeah.
That guy.
That guy.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. We have a plethora of the villains, Spider-Man villains, because we get a bunch that we saw in the other.
There's always a
films and
bunch.
stuff. Now, Reuben, we both played and finished this game.
It's true.
What did you think of it? And then I can tell you why you're wrong.
Now, I could ramble on for a bit here. Or I could just read the thing that I've already written about this game,
Sure. Why don't you do that?
which I'm going to quote from memory.
Okay.
And it's something like, not as good a Spider-Man game as Spider-Man, not as good a Miles Morales game as Miles Morales, not as good an MJ game, but at least it's an alright MJ game. By the way, it's a bad MJ game. Something like that. Basically, my complaint boils down to I didn't care about anyone.
What? Why? What do you mean?
I cared about Harry because the voice acting was really, and the characterization was good, and it was just easy to like him, I think, especially as young Harry.
Yep, Harry Osborn.
Are we doing spoilers yet? Not yet?
No.
Okay.
I don't think we do spoilers for this game.
Okay. I think it just... Okay. With Spider-Man PS4,
Yeah.
for first Spider-Man, it was just clear what was going on. It wasn't ambitious or super well, it was ambitious in terms of gameplay. The story wasn't super complicated, but it was like, yeah, good story, all right? We did the Doc Ock thing. Miles Morales I enjoyed more, maybe because it was shorter, maybe because the combat was better, and maybe because the story felt more about being in Harlem and New York and the other place that game was. I mean, it's all in New York. And then this one felt like we're doing that game again, but web wings.
Okay.
And the web wings were great, to be fair.
Now I will say about the first Spider-Man game, at the end I teared up with the Doc Ock stuff, because throughout that whole game, Dr. Octavius isn't Doc Ock. You see,
But you know it's gonna be.
you know he's gonna be. But you see him and Peter slowly creating this technology that kind of it starts as like a robotic arm and it eventually becomes his tentacles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's envisaged as a technology to help people with like amputations or disabilities, which is cool.
yes, and Doc Ock does have that.
It's okay.
He's losing control of his limbs. He has some sort of neurological disease that means that he's can't move as well. So the reveal, Doc Ock becomes evil, and you know he's evil for a bit of that third act, leading up to the final battle. But there's a reveal in the final battle that Doc Ock knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man for a bit, and he was still fighting him. Like, it was revealed, Peter was like, "Stop! You're gonna kill me. I'm Peter Parker. Stop! I can't. I want to help you. Don't. You need to stop this." And he's like, "I fucking know you're Peter Parker, and I don't care." And that is heartbreaking because this whole time you've really been caring for Otto and you had this really good relationship. So that's a really heartbreaking moment. And I teared up doing that. And then this game, I can't say that I had the same moment, but there are things that I love about this game way more than...
Was it the one boss fight that happens 18 times?
No. You mean all of the boss fights?
I mean all of the boss
fights.
Because
every boss fight in this game, you fight them, and they have a secret other health bar and a secret other health bar, and then you will hit them into a different arena, and they'll have a secret other health bar and a secret other... The boss fights last.
The first boss fight is great. The opening of the game, awesome. After that, it's just.
It opens really well. You fight Sandman in the city. You're swinging around him, throwing stuff at him. It's really, really good. Okay. I want to talk about the thing that I especially like about this game, and that is the way that they portray the heroes and the villains, and how the heroes, well, the spider people, perceive and interact with the villains and the way they talk about them. And you get it right from the jump in this game. I don't know if you notice this, but every time that you hear either of the Spider-Men talking to the villains or talking about them, they always say, "We need to help this person."
Yeah.
When you have Flint Marko, Sandman, rampaging through the city, which apparently he's been fine for years, there hasn't been an issue. He hasn't become Sandman. When Peter hears about this, he's like, "What's gone wrong with Frank? We need to help him." When you go and you're swinging around him, it's like, "You need to stop this. We need to help you. We can figure out what's going on." It isn't we need to just stop you. You're an evil thing that we need to destroy. So we have the Spider-Man talking about villains in a way that they are human, and that they are people in need of help, not people that need to be destroyed or locked up.
Which is hugely refreshing after 3 Batman games and like 1.5 Spider-Man games of like, the criminals are on the streets and you got to stop them by bashing them up.
Yep. And then we also have villains that we see that are reformed. We see Tombstone
was a highlight.
Who's working at the
the fair.
Is it
like
the Long Island? No, it's not Long Island. The carnival fair that's in New York. And you see him just working there, and then he gets targeted because of Kraven coming to New York City, because there's a bunch of powerful people, villains, heroes in New York City that he wants to hunt down for some reason that maybe we will talk about in a bit. But Spider-Man sees him attacking Tombstone, and he's like, "Oh shit, I need to help Tombstone," because he was a villain, but he's doing his community service. He's on his road to redemption. He doesn't deserve to be targeted, just as like anyone wouldn't be deserved to be targeted. So we see villains going through their redemption arc, and this isn't one villain doing this. This is like quite a few of them. We also see some villains get killed by Kraven.
Oh yeah.
And that is both hurtful because it's like, wow, I fought that villain in the last game. That sucks that I won't get to see this villain again. But it's also, you realize that villain might have, not been started to become better, or might have had a chance to become a regular good person have gotten help if they weren't fucking killed off by this guy that's just coming in from Africa being like, all right, everyone that's slightly more powerful than a regular human, you're on my watch list. You know?
Yeah.
I'm going to hunt you down and throw you in an arena so I can beat you up like we were in a rom-com.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I like that. I had noticed little bits of that. I hadn't thought about it as such a unifying theme. It is good. I do wish that maybe you didn't bash them up, but video games do have this perpetual struggle to make talking or other forms of conflict resolution as punching things feels good. In a video game. And also right now, I'm going to punch you right now. It's going to feel good. So I guess my initial response is like, yeah, but what if it was actually like revolutionary, but also it's like a AAA title and a sequel and they've got to do the thing. So yeah, and it does, think about like the Arkham games, which are not part of this series, but a really strong part of the heritage. You think about the combat and the Scarecrow levels and the way the city feels. It's nice to be moving past that era of looking at criminal responsibility and reform. Yeah. Which is, you are either a villain or a henchman and you are permanently that. And if you escape, it's my job as the Batman or Spider-Man in the first game to punch you hard enough that you go back to prison.
Yes. I will also say that it is not just the villain reform as well, because we do have the symbiote in this game.
Well, yeah, how spoiler do you want to get?
Well, Spider-Man gets the symbiote.
Yeah.
Obviously. That's in the trailers. And he goes through all those symbiote stuff. You know, you see that in the Raimi movie in Spider-Man 3 where the worst parts of him
You see it in Venom.
You see it in the movie Venom. Less.
Not really. Kind of surprisingly little, actually.
But, and then Peter has to go through all that stuff because he's acting as a worse person and says and does some pretty harmful stuff to civilians and people close to him, and then he has to deal with the ramifications afterwards and go through his own redemptive arc. So I think that it was a really powerful step towards a different way of portraying a comic book story. But overall,
interesting.
I really enjoyed this episode. Jesus, we're not done. This video game. Not as much as the first, but there was a lot more to do. I liked the way that you could explore the city, how it wasn't based on going to a police station and then hacking into the tower to spy camera, spy radar, all of the stuff. No, the way that you found missions and like things to do around the city is you explored the city. You solved. You did like local community crimes like break-ins or car thefts or things like that. And that would provide you with more information, as if you were almost learning that information from the people that you saved and stuff like that, or on the thieves. I don't know, from the thieves. You know, you beat them up and you're like, now where's the next? Where are you going next? So I can see you in 10 minutes.
Where's the next part of the side quest? Yeah. All right.
Also, I will just say some of the side quests as well really took me by surprise.
Yes, some of them were, yes.
Some really, a good chunk of them are not beady-uppy stuff. It is really emotional narratives.
This person asked this other person out on a date.
Let's help find this person's father who is getting old and doesn't have his memory fully there. Let's help her find him because he's gone and walked astray. Let's help the pigeon guy from the first two games.
Oh, I don't think I did that one.
It's a really, really beautiful one. It's that was probably the mission that almost made me cry.
It really is a case of everything is an improvement on, and you know, some of the other things like traversal and some of the other like quality of life things. Everything's an improvement on the first game, except how much I care about it, because something somewhere didn't click for me.
Yeah, I think it had a lot going on. I think that's...
Yeah.
It was a bit messy, but yeah.
They're doing a Craven and a Venom and 2 sequels in one, and yeah, it's just a lot.
Yeah. I recommend finishing this game. If you like the first one, play the second one. I don't think you're in any particular rush to do it, but definitely play the second one. Yeah, I recommend it to people who like Spider-Man. The first Spider-Man is a great entry point for people who aren't into video games, but really like the Spider-Man movies or
Big
Spider-Man
time.
comics. That's a big way of how I got you into video games, or at least console gaming. Yeah, highly recommend.
Oh, there's two sticks and one does the camera and one does my movement. How do I do them both at once? Like that.
Like that.
For like 40 hours.
Like a very long time. Reuben,
Jett,
what have you noticed that I keep saying we do this? We get into a rhythm when we're transitioning between our things.
You know what?
And the rhythm is
we do.
Me saying Reuben, you saying Jett.
You saying what have you started or finished?
Yeah. So what have you?
Let's break
finished?
that rhythm. Jett, listen up.
Reuben.
No, we haven't broken it. We've flipped it. This is me waffling because I don't remember what I finished.
What have you finished?
I finished John Wick Chapter 4.
Okay, tell me about John Wick Chapter 4.
I forgot that this came out. I didn't see it in cinemas at the time because I was like, the John Wick movies, I know what they are. They're like a high-octane action movie and Keanu Reeves is in them and they're pretty well made, but I don't know if I like care about him. This one's the best one.
Better than
John Wick
Parabellum?
first. Yeah.
John Wick Parabellum is pretty good. I saw that one in cinemas.
I forgot what... Okay, so I will say, I forgot what happened in every single John Wick, and I did do something that I have never done before, which is watch a recap of the previous movies.
Oh.
And that was a good idea. I would have survived without it. Like many action movies, it's structured in such a way that you can understand the story with only the information contained in the movie. But I was very glad that I spent like 7 minutes, whatever, just like remembering who the heck was who.
So did you enjoy it?
Very much.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still it's still the thing that it is. It's not going to change your mind if you don't like this. All those adjectives I listed before. Like a John Wick movie.
That's very little adjectives.
All right.
Some would say
no adjectives. 2 pronouns and a noun. Keanu Reeves is the main character. He says very little. He's a stoic action hero. It's well made, well edited, kinetic action. It goes to nice places and
like
looks
Hitman,
pretty.
Right?
Yeah, he's an assassin who's permanently trying to get out of the game, but it's like you're addicted to it, mate. You couldn't get out if you tried. Yeah.
He's like, I'd love to stop shooting all these people, but I simply can't.
But I simply can't. In the first movie, his wife dies, and his wife gives him spoilers for John Wick, and his wife well, that actually happens at the very start. That's not a spoiler. That's the premise. His wife gives him a dog, and then someone comes into his house and tries to kill him and shoots his dog and steals his car.
It's the exciting incident.
Yeah. Yes. It's very inciting too. There's nothing there. I'm sorry. And then John Wick spends 4 movies trying to not be an assassin, but I mean, is he really trying? You know what I'm saying? And we're introduced to
Do they do a
magical token and a blood token and another token and other forms of mysterious currency that only come up and are used once.
Have you seen Barry?
I have not seen
The
Barry.
show Barry?
I have not seen the soon to be WBPD show Barry. But I've heard a lot about it.
It's apparently a hitman who's trying to get out of doing hitman stuff.
Yeah, but I think he's actually trying to get out of doing hitman stuff, or I think John Wick is saying that so that he feels less bad about doing hitman stuff.
Okay, I see.
This man loves killing people. You can see it in his...
In his what?
I don't know. He never does anything with his face or voice or body, but you can... Yeah. He keeps doing it. It's the only choice he ever makes. So,
nice.
Look, this movie did a thing that I have never seen in any movie.
Okay.
And I think that it's interesting that Chad Stahelski has made 4 of these all in a row, because often franchises like this, like Mission Impossible or Bond, will switch it up. I think it's interesting that he's keeping on making them because he's going deeper and deeper and actually like innovating action movies. I'm going to describe it to you and you're going to go, yeah, cool. And you're not going to get it.
Great.
But that's fine.
I'm so excited.
There are some shots in this that start like a tracking shot. Yep. Already tricky to do like a one-er in an action movie, right? Pretty tricky.
Yep.
And then it pans up and up and up until it's an overhead shot that continues moving and tracking across a whole set that they've built, all in one take, while John Wick fights a bunch of people down below. And then some of them will come back in and some of them will cut back to a more conventional view. It's incredible. I've never seen anything like it. I wish I'd seen it in a cinema.
I think I've seen this movie. Have I seen this movie?
I don't think you've seen this movie.
Because I've seen a few of the John Wick films.
Yeah,
and
I
could
can
not
never
you
tell
which
which
one.
is which or what happens in any of them.
Were they on a motorbike at any point in this one?
No, Motorbike was 3.
Okay.
This
was
one
Ruby Rose in this one?
Don't think so.
Was Ruby Rose in any
This
of
one,
them?
Donnie Yen was in this one.
Donnie Yen. Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah. And he's great.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I cared about some characters. I mean, not like deeply or intensely, but like more than I have in the previous entries. And I won't say any spoilers, but I was going to compare it to another movie, but that would be a spoiler. It brings this era of John Wick to an interesting conclusion.
Okay.
He finally gets out of the game. I don't know. Who knows?
Okay.
What else happens what else is good about this movie? I mean, stacked cast, always amazing. Beautiful locations. They spend a fair while at the start in Japan.
Oh, so
Amazing.
it's not all in New York.
No.
The director of this did Deadpool 2.
Really?
Yep.
Did not know that.
The start of Deadpool 2 is also in Japan. I think.
So are, like, 2 of the Wolverine movies.
One of the Wolverine
I don't remember. Yeah,
that one's all in Japan.
That one's all in Japan.
Why are you bringing up?
One. Yeah. I'm saying that action films love going
Bullet
to Japan.
Train's all in Japan.
Probably.
I don't know where
I don't know. I've never seen Bullet Train.
No.
What else?
I just know Japan has bullet trains.
It does. Oh, it's a great villain. When was the last time you cared about a villain in one of these things?
In John Wick? I don't know because I can't remember.
Actually, it has multiple great villains. So many.
Okay.
It came out within weeks of the latest Mission Impossible film, and I think this is way better in so many ways.
So within those weeks that Barbie and Oppenheimer
correct.
completely took over.
And none of these made any money.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, I definitely haven't seen this one because I was too busy watching Barbie and Oppenheimer like almost 2 months later. Wait, have you watched all the rest of them?
I had to check, but yes.
Okay. Yeah. Are they making a series? Aren't they making a series?
So the Continental, which is about the hotel, that's out. There's 3
it's out.
Chunky episodes. I think they're like an hour or an hour and a half episodes. Wow. They're doing a John Wick 5, and they're doing a ballerina John Wick spin-off set in between 3 and 4 with Ana de Armas.
Oh.
That's coming out this year.
Okay.
Apparently.
They're doing a big like a bunch of John Wick.
Yeah, I mean, they're making a franchise, I guess.
There was a John Wick video game that came out earlier this year.
Is that John Wick Hex?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you played it?
Nah.
Well.
You gonna play it?
Nah.
Great.
Brilliant.
Good chat.
Can't wait.
Is it canon?
I don't know. I thought it'd be more Max Payne-y.
Yeah.
In the way of like third-person shooter.
Isn't it like a top-down tactical?
It's a top-down tactical thing. But maybe the camera pans back down from
the
top.
Can you imagine?
That'd be pretty cool.
It's just really good. I was like, wow, I don't know if anything in this can top like the first John Wick fight or like the knife fight from Parabellum. Things do.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Like what?
Spoilers.
I think you can talk about it. Or we can leave it for a seal. Do you want to talk about it? Okay.
No, I'm satisfied. There's more new the writing of these movies is so odd because in like a macro world building sense, I think it's absolute garbage. Okay. But in the specific sense that it needs to be for an action movie, as in I know where this character is going and who wants to stop them and why and how all the props in the scene might work. I know exactly what is happening at any given moment, which is great. And that's all these really need to be. But I guess what I'm trying to say is it ends with an old style duel with dueling pistols.
Oh.
And that's just a ballsy move that's fun.
When are the dueling pistols dated? 1717?
1715.
1715.
Whatever that Predator date is what I'm trying to remember, but I don't remember which one it was.
If John Wick was to
fight a Predator, he would. I think he would lose because Predators have so many advantages. But my God, he'd give it a fight.
I was gonna say different.
How long do you have to prep? Because you see him in John Wick 1 when he really knows that house.
Yeah.
My God. He's an absolute machine.
I think that...
What if John Wick and a Predator had a duel?
Well, the Predator always goes to its prey's hunting ground.
That's true.
So just say...
I think it would rip his head off.
You think that it would... But we've seen...
He could just shoot it a bunch of times.
We have seen predators die to much less.
That's true.
Even in the great film Prey.
That's true. Okay.
Predator basically gets his leg caught in a bear trap and then falls on leaves covering over a hole.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, the death of the Predator in that movie is still caused by Predator weaponry.
Yeah.
I don't feel like John Wick's on the level. They've all got the bulletproof vests in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And a, big pistol. Mm-hmm. But I just don't think that's... I don't think that's anything.
Really? Because he's good at dodging. He's good at ducking and rolling.
Well, he's good at getting shot and just
rolling with it.
Rolling with it, ducking and dodging after he gets hit.
Yeah.
But when the Predator just throws a net at him,
He could cut the net.
That's true. His teeth.
Not with his teeth. They're not sharp enough. You need Predator steel.
That's true.
A mythical Predator steel to cut a Predator net.
I just think the Predator would win. Unless they start far away enough and John Wick can see it enough and can put enough bullets in it.
I think if John Wick knows that the Predator is coming, and John Wick is in the house, Home Alone style.
Okay.
Home Alone style.
Home Alone, John Wick beats Predator.
That's what I think.
Unprepared Predator.
I think so.
Yeah.
For sure.
I believe it.
I think that's a good way to pit people against each other.
One
less powerful person, one more powerful person in a Home Alone situation. I think, John Wick would win that. I think I think that's a good matchup. I was going to say, which franchise do you think would cross over with John Wick? Do you think a Mission Impossible, or do you think a...
I think they're totally too different. I would watch a Bond Wick.
Yeah, Bond Wick.
I would watch a James John Bondwick.
I would like to see a Barry Wick, where it's just two people chatting about how they want to get out of being hitmen.
And at the end,
they go and do some improv together.
Nice. And then John Wick shoots everyone because he can't help himself, probably.
Exactly.
Yeah. I would see that.
Are you gonna watch John Wick fight? I mean,
who would win
invested
if you put Predator against John Wick and Barry, but it's on Predator Planet?
On Predator Planet,
yeah,
I think they would both die.
Because of the Predator dogs?
Because of the Predator dogs. Yeah, they're pretty powerful. Barry is a good regular hitman.
Not a superhuman.
Not a superhuman. I don't think probably even compared to John Wick. I'm
suggesting John Wick is a superhuman.
I think that maybe Barry could beat John Wick if Barry was in a Home Alone house and had time to prep.
Yeah?
Yeah. Possibly.
I guess if you hide yourself well enough and put one bullet in his head, that'll do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you regret starting?
I feel like John Wick would just roll with
finishing?
I regret not remembering. I don't know. I dismissed and look, it's still a very specific thing. It's a very specific type of action movie that you won't like if you don't like that thing. But I think I forgot that I had fun with the previous entries, is what happened here. So yeah, watch it. If you forgot about John Wick, watch it.
It's a very father film in the way that dads like it. Like I took my dad to go see it on
Huge
Father's Day a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
The third one, not the fourth.
Yeah.
Wouldn't make sense. He was off seeing Oppenheimer.
He was off seeing Rogue One and walking out.
Yeah. I feel like it's a very dad film. So
I feel like your dad should watch Andor.
Yeah, I was recommending it.
Big dad film energy. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
Would I watch it again? It's one of those things where I'm like, I'd probably watch it once and then watch the fight scene compilation on YouTube.
Sure.
Much like Mortal Kombat.
A real Mortal Kombat, that's what I was thinking.
Or Alien vs Predator, except that I wouldn't recommend watching it the first time.
Do you think that Scorpion could beat? Do you think that John Wick could beat Scorpion in a home
Mortal
alone
Kombat
situation?
Scorpion. Who's home? Who's alone?
I think. Oh, you know what? I think Scorpion's home.
Okay.
And John Wick's coming in, because Scorpion.
Is Scorpion's wife and child home like at the start of Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, sure, why not? I think that Scorpion can fire breathe and has a big chain with a dagger at the end of it.
But guns.
But guns. He doesn't have guns.
And the thing about being that little cabin in the Mortal Kombat movie is that we see that the walls and the screens don't stop any swords, so I don't think they're stopping guns.
No.
Now, you could hide and attempt to ambush John Wick, but I feel like he'll just roll with it and then shoot you in the head with a bullet, as established earlier.
Good point. Yeah.
Oh, Chapter 4 has a great John Wick rolling moment.
Does it?
Yeah. He's got to get to the jewel at the top of this hill at the like Sacred Heart Church in Paris by sunrise, which is like 6:03 or whatever. And he has to fight. There's like a famous set of stairs that go up there. I think it's like 200 and something stairs. And he fights his way up the entirety of the stairs. It's like a 4 or 5 minute scene.
Oh my God.
Just like they've taken away the fancy tricks, they've taken away all the excess, and it's just like you know who your protagonist is and what their goal is and what the stakes are.
Yep.
And he just makes it near the top. And then one of the villains appears and beats him up, and he rolls down every single set of stairs. And like, it's way too long. Like, the amount of rolling is way too long, and he could just stop, but he keeps... It's so funny. And he rolls all the way down these hundreds of stairs and then lands at the bottom. And that's when the movie uses its one F-bomb.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
That's really good.
Anyway, he just rolls with it, is what I'm saying.
That's fun. I think I might watch that scene on YouTube.
Oh,
that
okay.
sounds good. That sounds fun. Do you want to talk about the next thing?
Yeah, let's do the next segment. What is it?
It's Up and Up.
Every time I'm bringing it up, I'm talking about up and up. Not the theme song.
We talk about things that are coming up for us, and we follow up on previous things.
And then we roll down all those up and ups again.
I'm not rolling out anything. You can roll
It's
whatever.
just here. We could recreate the joke.
You can do that. I've got a date with Spiceidon.
Well, what have you got coming up and up after or before your date with Spiceidon?
I have got coming up. So I forgot to write something down for coming up.
That's okay. Would you like to do following up first?
Yeah, I'll do following up because I have a couple of things to follow up on.
Great.
One of the things is... No, I forgot to write down what I'm following up on.
Would you like me to go first?
Yeah, go for it. Go first.
I feel like it's these times when you haven't written something down and I offer to go that I could get away with saying anything. Because your brain's going to be so full of trying to think up 2 whole topics.
That's true.
My coming up is the video game Chants of Sennaar, which is a puzzle game that came out this year about like linguistics and decoding different languages and a Tower of Babel vibe.
This is the game that is what I wanted that book with the birds to be about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good point. I'm looking forward to it.
It's a game where there's a language that you don't understand, and then you
I think there's more. I think it's levels, and each one is a language rather than one that goes all the way through.
And you have to piece it together as you go. You have to figure out what the words mean. Sounds really good.
Sounds good.
Sounds very good.
Sounds fun.
What's that on? Netflix games?
No, unfortunately not.
What's it on?
I might actually have to buy this.
Ooh, yikes.
Yikes.
That's no fun.
My following up.
Mm-hmm.
My following up, I got 2. One's for you. Do you want it now or second?
Go now. Why not?
You wanted me to remind you about following up on flu powder.
Oh.
So I've solved one of your 2 problems
Yeah,
for
you did. Okay, great. Awesome. I'll talk about that in a second when it's my turn.
My other following up is back in the vibe of things. Now,
Okay.
last episode, you said that your coming up was going to be getting back into the vibe of things. And I scoffed. I trounced and traduced you for this silly thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, all we've done for a straight week is get back in the vibe of things.
And how's it been?
It's been great.
Yeah. It's been really nice, hasn't it?
Even, like, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to spend my day doing boring jobs, but there's no one else I would rather spend my day taking apart a washing machine with than you.
Aww. And then at the end of the day...
Thank God that's done, that job.
We're both home and we're like, what should we do? Oh,
Cook dinner and watch a movie.
watch the Percy Jackson thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been really nice.
It's been really nice. So
Especially
we're back in the vibe of
taking
things.
apart that washing machine.
And throwing that other one out, that was satisfying.
Yeah. Dude, we halved our washing machines.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, yes, they are, but it wasn't that we had a washing machine and a dryer. We had a washing machine and we had a washer-dryer, and the dryer part
didn't
of
work.
that did not work.
And the washer didn't really work either.
It worked if you kept, like, basically poking at it.
We had 1.75 washing machines and 0 dryers.
Yes, that's pretty accurate, yeah. Oh, lovely. Excellent. So I still don't have a coming up.
That's okay. But did you want to follow up on Flu Powder?
Yeah, I'll follow up on something else very quickly.
You were so busy making that game. We sat here for like 20 minutes while you wrote down your things, but what you were actually writing down, I now know, is just Percy Jackson adaptations.
Yeah. Percy Jackson, sorry. The thing that I'm following up on starts with a P.
Okay.
So that confused
Pierce
me.
Brosnan? Are you following up on Pierce Brosnan?
No, I'm following up on Perfect Sound Whatever.
Ah.
Last year, I listened to one album every single day of the year.
Madness.
All the albums were from 2016.
Madness.
All these albums were from a calendar at the back of the book called Perfect Sound Whatever by James Acaster.
Wasn't the book called How to Quit Social Media and whatever?
No, I read that one of James Acaster's books.
Was there a whole Perfect Sound Whatever book?
Yes.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, that one's about the music in 2016. I haven't read that book.
Yeah, okay.
But I followed the calendar at the back of it that had an album a day. I read like the first couple of pages of that book and we're like, yep, I get it. Give me put me on hard mode for 2023. Make me listen to so much music.
Arguably,
so much music.
Too much music.
Way too much. But I finished it.
I cannot believe that you did this.
I listened to an album a day for the whole year.
It's so impressive.
I skipped a couple of them, yeah, but those ones weren't on Spotify. So I have them wish listed on Bandcamp, and I'm gonna like go back and purchase all of those so I can listen to them. And there's about, I don't know, probably like 20 or something of those. But I listened to everything else. There are some really good albums. I have a list of them on my Spotify. It's called Best of PSW, the playlist. If you happen to hunt me down on Spotify, you can find it. Some of the great albums that I listened to that I either already... basically the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. Some of them were great albums that I just haven't gotten a chance to listen to. Like Beyonce's Lemonade. That was phenomenal. As I said on the episode where I talked about this, I think it was episode 11, I talked about what I'd been doing with this.
It was.
The first album, January 1st was Telephone by No Name, one of my favorite albums of all time. Blonde by Frank Ocean was on there. There was, I can't remember the name of it, but Lucy Dacus's 2016 album was on there. There were a phenomenal, Princess Nokia. Her album from 2016 was on there. There were so many phenomenal albums. I have found so much great music that I wouldn't have discovered otherwise. And I would say that it's worth it, except it so isn't, because I had to slog through so much shit. So much just loud or disruptive or just disgusting music.
Every single time I heard you listening to Perfect Sound Whatever, it was like hard metal.
It was, yeah. Because honestly, most of the time when I was listening to the hard metal, I put it on in the background.
So that you could get it done.
Yeah, so I could get it done. I didn't
hear any of the good stuff. I just got a year of rah, rah, nah, 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 rah.
And to be fair, some of the heavy metal was good. There's
I don't believe you.
a few that I enjoyed. But... some of it was just so bad, and there were a lot of abstract ones that I didn't really like. There were just a bunch of blips and bloops.
Oh, blip bloop.
But those go for like those ones that are not.
They're the longest albums.
I enjoy stuff. I really enjoy rhythmical music.
Rhythmic.
I don't know.
What have you done?
I don't know. That's what, like, I think that's why I like R&B quite a lot. And so I really enjoy that. But when you have abstract songs that the point of them is for them to sound abstract, and also because they're like trying to do something different, they go for like 8 to 14 minutes. And there was this one album which was like the same song but slightly different every song, but it was basically the same. And it was just excruciating to get through. But I'm done with it now
What are you going to listen to this year?
I don't know. And I've already... normally, it's been a whole year of like, I don't know what to put on. I'll just put on this.
Yeah.
Because I got to listen to it. The past couple of days, I haven't had that. So I'm like, I guess I'll go back to these albums that I was listening to 2 years ago. Great. Like, it's been really disruptive going back to normal listening. But it's going to give me more time to listen to podcasts. So I'm very excited for that. But yeah, Perfect Sound Whatever, James Acaster, I fucking did it. You happy? You caused me a year of chaos.
How many people do you reckon actually did this and got through?
I think that it would be...
It would be thousands.
Really? I would
Maybe
say
tens of
hundreds.
thousands. Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people would do this.
I don't think so.
At all.
Yeah.
It is a very tough thing to do. I mean, it's not the hardest thing in the world to do, but it's just very, like, logistically annoying as well. So I'm proud to say that I'm one of the few that have done it. So anyways, James Acaster, if you weren't such a good comedian, I'd have a bone to pick with you, but I'll let it slide for this time. If you do a follow-up in 2017, I'll probably do it because it's just it would be a thing for me to do for a year.
You would have to do it.
Missing it. Yeah, probably. Oh.
Surely there's... Because, like, one of the things that he talks about 2016 is the To Pimp a Butterfly effect, which is that a lot of artists shifted their stuff from 2015 because of Kendrick Lamar's album.
Yeah.
But surely there was a bunch of COVID music that didn't happen till after.
Quite possibly.
Like, surely there's a 2022 version of this.
Probably, but also I think with COVID you can make
people
music.
Just made it anyway.
People can make like they're stuck at home. A lot of people were more creative.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quite possibly. I mean, what I could do is just go to 2017, get the 365 top listened to albums, and just do that. But I don't hate myself that much. Anyways, that's one follow-up. Do you want to hear my other follow-up?
Sure, yeah.
My other follow-up's talking about last week and Hogwarts Legacy. Now, I just wanted... there was a specific rant that I wanted to have that I forgot to have last week.
Where does this fit on the ramp up to Rage? So we had... everything about the game, then we had everything about how you interact with the game, and then we had the story. So where does this rank on that slide, that ramp up?
Between...
brushing my hand, can you hear it?
I think it's on the second one.
So this
how you interact with the game.
Oh, you mean this is a subcategory?
Subcategory.
Okay, great.
I want to talk about Flue Powder.
I was thinking about, like, severity. Part of the second one.
It was one of the first things that annoyed me about this game. In this game... There are little bits that, like landmarks that are Flue Powder stations. I don't know. It's just a fire that's green with like a gravestone back. It's not a gravestone, but it has like a statue of a woman. She was the person who created Flue Powder, so she talks to you every time you fast travel to a Flue Powder location.
Right.
So you might say, I know how Flue Powder works. I've read the Harry Potter books. I've seen the Harry Potter films. The way Flue Powder works is you go to a fireplace, you get your Flue Powder, you throw it on the ground into the fire.
Then you say the name of the place you want to be.
You probably say it before you throw the...
Probably.
But
we don't mind about details here at Stinished It.
The most important bit... No, because this is the detail that I care about.
Okay, we care about details here at Stinished It.
You get into the fire, and then you throw the Flue Powder down. That's how it works. You go into the fireplace. In Hogwarts Legacy, you just go into the map, you open up the options menu, go into the map, and just pick a place that is a Flue Powder location, and then you just click fast travel and you appear there. Why not have it be a diegetic system where, yes, there are Flue Powder locations, but you have to go up to them, walk in, basically how it works in God of War, where you have these fast travel locations where you go physically to them, interact with them, then bring up a map and the things that you can fast travel to, and then travel to there, instead of it just being going through the map. Like, make it, just add a bit more immersion of, yes, you have to walk into a fireplace and throw the Flue Powder down. I don't want to, it makes it so easy. I don't like games, like, I like, fast travel's good for some things, but I don't like how much it means that you don't have to interact with the world. It means I want to get from this side of the map to the complete opposite side, and because that's where the next mission is, I'm just going to skip all of the stuff between and just immediately go there. And just, it means you don't actually get to be immersed or have an immersive experience within the world that you are acting in.
Especially when it's an RPG set so clearly in a place.
Exactly.
Hogwarts Legacy.
So why not just make it so that you walk into the fire and do it that way?
This is such a tiny complaint.
I don't care. There are so many flue powder stations. I don't even care. It doesn't have to be walk into it. It could still be like these little flames you walk up to or something. I don't give a shit. But just, why isn't it just...
So your problem is that the map opens?
My problem is you have to remove yourself from the gameplay.
How do you feel about the way this works in Jedi Survivor?
I haven't done it in Jedi Survivor.
Tried it yet.
I think that God of War did a phenomenal job. It has these mystic gateways. You walk up to them. You wave a thing. The stones form a door. It's a light door. Then you open the door. You walk in. You select where you want to go. Then you walk basically while the game is loading through
Correct.
The world tree, and then another door opens, and then you exit that door because that game's a one-shot game, so they want to make sure everything's there aren't any cuts or loading screens. And you walk out of that door, and then you're in the new place. Just make it, literally make the flue powder locations not just be a destination. Make those be the place that you have to go to. That's a destination. You get what I mean, right?
I think so.
Make them not be an exit. Make them be an entry as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was just there. I think a lot of things that my issues about the game is it was just there. You almost had it.
Then you backed away.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my following up, everyone.
Lovely.
Now, if
there's mail.
Wrapping up this episode. Oh, there's mail.
If you want mail, there's mail.
All right, let's do mail.
There's mail.
Reuben, what mail do we have this week?
Let's do mail with Liam the bear. You still don't like my theme song, but I'm keeping it.
I forgot that
I'm
we
just
had
going
a
to do
theme
it
song.
every time. Where did I put the mail? I got it here. We asked people. I'm looking at the wrong screen. We asked people, what was your favourite thing of 2023?
Oh shit!
After our Oscar Awards episode.
Yeah, what did people say?
Someone said Jett.
Oh,
that was Esther, friend from Heather's.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh my gosh.
So that's very nice.
That's really
starting
really nice.
wholesome and getting more wholesome.
Did you get anything? Did anyone say?
No one said just my name.
Oh.
Someone here said, what does this say? Someone here says, or you should give your doctorate back. All right, I'm just going to delete that one. We don't worry about that one.
Don't want that one.
This wonderful friend of the pod has really had a few cracks at it. They've just listed a bunch of stuff. So they're allowed to bump this table if they ever come on in because of this list. They've said Yellow Wheel, The Record, brackets Boy Genius.
Oh, that's a phenomenal album from this year. Also, The Rest is very good, which is the rest of the songs that they didn't put on.
Oh, that's a cool way of doing it.
Yeah.
Skeletons. I don't know what Skeletons
I don't know.
Do you know what Skeletons
No,
is?
I'm very concerned.
Did they do Halloween?
I don't know.
We missed Halloween.
Just skeletons.
Marcel the Shell.
Oh, that was a good movie,
maybe
but
the
that was
last
last year. But
that's
they might have watched
okay.
it this year.
Jaffles.
Jaffles.
Like I think like toasted Jaffles.
What are Jaffles?
Like toasted sandwiches made on the in the Jaffle machine, the Jaffle line.
You're not telling me what a Jaffle is.
Toasted sandwiches, but camp. Not gay toasted sandwiches.
Camp doesn't mean gay, Reuben.
Toasted sandwiches made in a fire with a Jaffle iron. Hence Jaffles.
Okay.
And Stinished It.
Oh, sweet.
And the third message that Liam has sent us says, getting a budgie. Which is so cute.
That's so cute.
So what a wonderful list of things, everyone.
That's really
Thank you
lovely.
for sharing
I'm
those.
still really confused as to what a Jaffle is, but sure.
I'll send you Google it on TikTok.
That's
TikTok it.
TikTok it?
TikTok it. Just type TikTok into TikTok like you did this morning.
And then I'll what do I type into TikTok? I'll do it right now.
Jaffles. I don't know. Maybe I'm also wrong about what this person means by Jaffles.
I'm going on to TikTok.
I'm still obsessed with getting a budgie.
Oh,
That's
I
the
got
best
an ad.
answer.
Oh, now it's telling me about Baldur's Gate 3. I don't want that. I want Jaffles. Jaffles.
What are we looking at?
This is showing pastry. and
Okay,
pizza sauce.
I
This is
think
not
I'm
a
wrong here.
Jaffle.
This is bad for me. looking through the
I'm really
alphabet.
confused.
What this is?
I'm just flipping through stuff.
Is
Oh,
this
they're
just
like
your For
toasted
You page?
sandwiches.
They're like, thank you.
Why didn't you just say that?
Oh my god.
They're kind of like squished on the end.
Yeah, because the Jaffa Lion seals them at the end.
Why didn't you say that?
That's literally what I tried to say.
Great. We're done with mail now. Thank you, everyone. That was really nice.
Those
For-
are great
for
answers,
ne-
everyone.
for next
great
week,
answers.
You write into stinishedit@gmail.com. You can tell us how you're enjoying the Percy Jackson series. If you read it as a kid, what you thinking of the series, and what you thought of the movies. Have you rewatched those lately? Highly recommend.
This is a pen. This is a pen.
Which is ridiculous that they didn't do that in the show.
Outrageous.
Such a good scene. If you can also DM us on Instagram. We are also on YouTube now. We're uploading the just an audio version of this, so what you're listening to YouTube, if that's your preferred platform of choice. If you want to rate us 5 stars, you can do that in your podcast app of choice. And if you leave a review as well with your 5 stars, I think we should read those out. We'll read those out.
As soon as I find them or anyone posts one.
We'll read them out as soon as Reuben, I don't know, figures it out, I guess. We want to thank Hetty Moysey.
We sure do.
Our lovely, lovely friend who did the art for our podcast. What else do we have to... Anything else to plug?
That's it.
I feel like there's always something else to plug.
Did you want to put a link to the Perfect Sound Best of PSW playlist?
No.
Okay.
If you want to do it, go to the... Go
You
buy
go
the
find
book,
it. You go...
the calendar. Do it yourself.
Great.
Thanks, everyone. Now, if you will excuse me, I do have a date tonight.
Oh, do you?
Yes. Do you want to know who it is?
Yes, I forgot.
Okay, you've forgotten.
Yeah, did I know? I may have done some sleuthing.
It's with this guy. He's covered in seaweed. I won't look. I don't. Not to. It is a famous person.
Okay.
I think.
You and famous people.
I think.
It
might be Spiceidon.
Oh my god.
However.
No way. He wouldn't.
I might be
here?
no.
Is he coming?
I have a concern.
Is he coming to our house?
No, I'm going out with him somewhere else.
Okay.
Jesus.
My room's so messy.
I'm concerned that I might be getting catfished.